She was drowning, and no one noticed. Not the roaring crowd, not the applauding judges, not even the cameras beaming the performance live across the world. No one, except one. Andrea Fuentes saw it, saw what no one else did. And in the moment when seconds mattered, when hesitation could mean the difference between life and death, she risked it all. Before we dive into this incredible true story, if you believe the world needs more people willing to dive in when it matters most, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. We tell real stories that inspire courage, connection, and compassion, just like this one. Now, let's begin. The air inside Budapest Duna Arena in June 2022 was thick with anticipation. It was the World Aquatics Championships, one of the most prestigious events in artistic swimming. Competitors from every corner of the globe had trained for years for this. Precision, grace, endurance, the pursuit of perfection. All unfolding in carefully choreographed movements beneath and above the water. On this particular evening, the spotlight belonged to Anita Álvarez, the 25-year-old American artistic swimmer with Mexican roots. A two-time Olympian, Anita was a veteran in the sport. Her style was distinctive, elegant yet fierce, a blend of athletic mastery and expressive artistry. For weeks leading up to the championships, Anita had trained relentlessly with her coach, Andrea Fuentes, herself a legend in the sport, a four-time Olympic medalist from Spain. They had formed a bond beyond coach and athlete. Andrea believed in Anita not just as a swimmer, but as a woman with immense resilience. "Remember, you own this pool," Andrea had told her before the performance. "You're not just performing a routine, you're telling your story." And so, when Anita stepped out in her shimmering swimsuit, the crowd buzzing with energy, Andrea stood poolside with a quiet smile. She had seen the hours of preparation, the physical toll, the emotional highs and lows. Now, it was Anita's moment. The music began, an orchestral swell that danced between haunting and triumphant. Anita slid into the water with effortless grace. Every movement was sharp, deliberate, and fluid. Her body became an instrument, legs slicing the water, arms weaving poetry through the air. To the audience, it was mesmerizing. To the judges, it was near flawless. To Andrea, it was a performance unfolding exactly as planned. For nearly 3 minutes, Anita pushed her body to its limits, breath control, muscle memory, artistic expression all working in harmony. And then, the final movement. Anita soared through the water in a climactic spin, legs pointing skyward in perfect alignment, her face calm, serene. The routine ended. The music faded. And Anita did not surface. At first, no one noticed. The crowd erupted in applause. Judges began taking notes. Cameras panned to audience members cheering and waving flags. Andrea's eyes, however, stayed locked on the pool. She had watched Anita surface countless times, knew her rhythms, knew how long it took her to rise after a routine, even after the most exhausting ones. 5 seconds passed, then 10. Still no Anita. Andrea's heart began to race. Something's wrong. Her body moved before her mind could fully process. She scanned the water's surface, no sign of Anita. Then, beneath the rippling reflections, she spotted a pale figure slowly sinking, limbs limp. Anita was unconscious. The applause continued. The judges still wrote. The cameras still filmed. But Andrea was already moving. There was no time for protocol. No time to alert lifeguards. No time to wait for officials. Andrea kicked off her shoes. Without removing her clothes, without hesitation, she dove in fully dressed, her coach's badge still swinging from her neck. She plunged beneath the surface, the cheers of the oblivious crowd muffled by the water's embrace. Anita's body was drifting downward, her lips blue, her face eerily peaceful. Andrea's training kicked in, not as a swimmer, but as a human fighting for another's life. She swam straight down, grabbed Anita firmly by the waist, and began pulling her upward. The resistance of water felt like dragging a leaden weight, but Andrea's grip did not falter. Every instinct screamed, "Get her out! Get her out!" Now, as Andrea broke through the surface, Anita's lifeless body in her arms, gasps rippled through the crowd. The applause stopped. Confusion spread like a ripple across the arena. Cameras swiveled. Judges stood. Spectators leaned forward in horror. Andrea swam swiftly to the edge, lifeguards finally snapping into action as they rushed to assist. Together, they hoisted Anita from the water and laid her on the pool deck. Her skin was cold, She wasn't breathing. Andrea dropped to her knees, heart hammering. The medical team arrived and began resuscitation. "Come on, Anita," Andrea whispered, gripping her hand. "Stay with us. Breathe." For a moment, time hung suspended. Then a faint cough. A sputter. Anita's body convulsed slightly. Her chest rose. Air rushed into her lungs. She was alive. Andrea exhaled a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. "She's back." The incident sent shockwaves through the world of sports. Images of Andrea diving fully clothed into the pool circulated across news outlets and social media. Coach saves swimmer from drowning. Heroic rescue at World Championships. An act of pure instinct and courage. In press conferences afterward, Andrea remained calm, even as her voice trembled. "I did what any coach would do. I saw she wasn't okay, and I went in. No one else had noticed. I knew her. I knew something was wrong." Anita, after regaining full consciousness, expressed deep gratitude. "I'm so thankful Andrea was there. I owe her my life." She didn't think, she just acted. The event sparked global conversations about athlete safety, pressure in elite sports, and in the days following the rescue, Anita and Andrea spoke candidly about their relationship. Andrea revealed that this wasn't the first time Anita had experienced a loss of consciousness after an intense routine. "We've worked hard to manage it," Andrea said. "But on that night, with the heat, the exhaustion, her body shut down. I knew immediately because I know her." Anita echoed that sentiment. "Andrea knows me better than anyone. In the pool, you put absolute trust in your coach. And that trust saved my life." Their bond was forged not just through shared victories, but through mutual respect and an unwavering sense of responsibility for one another. "I will always dive in for her," Andrea said simply. Beyond the headlines and viral videos, the story of Andrea Fuentes and Anita Álvarez became something deeper, a parable about presence, awareness, and courage. It forced the world to ask, who notices when we're sinking? In life, so many of us wear smiles while drowning beneath the surface. We clap for others while missing the silent struggles happening right in front of us. Andrea noticed, not because she had superhuman vision, but because she cared enough to see. "We all need someone like that," Andrea later said. "Someone who knows us well enough to sense when something is wrong, even when everything looks perfect. And we all need to strive to be that person for someone else." Anita made a full recovery. Against all odds, she returned to competition. When asked why she would continue after such a terrifying experience, she smiled. "Because I love this sport. And because I know Andrea will always be there for me. We'll face it together." Andrea, too, was changed. Moments like this remind you what really matters. It's not medals. It's not scores. It's lives. It's trust. It's the bond between people who believe in each other. They resumed training, not chasing perfection, but embracing purpose. "Every time I dive in now, I do it with gratitude," Anita said. "Because I was pulled back from the bottom, and not everyone gets that chance." In the months after Budapest, Andrea and Anita received countless messages from around the world. Parents thanking Andrea for reminding them to watch more closely over their children. Athletes opening up about hidden struggles. Coaches vowing to be more present. The rescue became more than a moment. It became a symbol of vigilance, of courage, of human connection. And through it all, Andrea remained humble. "I didn't think. I just acted. That's what love and trust do, they erase fear." So now the question turns to us. Are we truly present in the lives of those we love? Would we notice if someone close to us was sinking not in water, but beneath the weight of life's invisible currents? Would we dive in, even if no one else did? Anita Álvarez is alive today because one person, one coach, didn't hesitate. Because one person cared enough to see beyond the surface. And in this life, Andrea says, we all need someone who sees us, truly sees us. Be that person. For someone else. And for yourself. Who would dive in for you? And who would you dive in for? If this story moved you, share it, and let's remind the world. One act of courage can change a life. Comment below. We read every single story. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful, true stories that inspire the hero in us all.